thanks to Nancy. She did a great job.
That sounded, yeah. All right, let's have some fun.
Yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. All the way. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Nice shot. Nice defense.
Guard. I'll make him sweep. Okay, line's fine. 1, 2.
Go, guys.
Yep, just go away. Okay. Yeah, it's not over. All right.
Yeah. Team.
Yeah, it's gonna start.
Back. Ready. Just team.
It's gonna grab the blue
Yeah, it's grabbing.
The blue part, no, the white part. All right, nice
Nice
job.
one. Come this way.
Okay, should be in the house. I think flow T.
Okay. It's definitely here.
Slow
Be
down.
back house.
Slow down. I like the time.
Okay.
That's fine.
Where? 3, 4. Yes. All right, up and left. Up and left. Lock, lock.
Be good. 2, 3.
Hit her other, so just let it be high. That's fine. Rather than stay off center line.
Guard. Disregard. Can't go though. Guard. 14-2. Good.
That's good. Yeah, 14-1. That was 12-5.
Yeah, it's just outside still. Jess, you might go for curl in a
Raise
second.
good. Raise up front. 3, 4.
I think you can. Yeah, curl. Yeah.
Girl.
Yes, curl. As far as you can, even if it's on. Okay.
Nice one.
Cool, nice time.
I like it. I don't want to touch it.
It's way out there, so make sure it's in at this point.
It's in, it's in.
Curl it.
I can't touch it.
Yeah, it's hot.
Might get sticky out here. Similar time to the last one.
Yeah, exact same time.
Where?
Normal time? No, well, it's still a little slow, but
Go ahead, yep.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the finals for the first and third events at the 17th annual, except for the last couple of years, Cracked Bell Open Bonspiel at Philadelphia Curling Club. I'm Ian Alexander. I'm joined by John Sr. And we're just a few stones into the first end. We have Dutt versus Dunnam on sheet 1, playing the first event final, and Foster versus Brockman. Well, both of the first event teams are Philadelphia teams. Foster is from Plainfield, New Jersey, and Amanda Brockman is from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. We are looking at the comments from time to time, so if you'd like to chime in and tell us how we're doing, please do.
All right. Yeah, Jess, curls. Yep. Curls.
Might need a little.
Bingo. Yep.
Venerable Roger Baldwin preparing to deliver his first.
Okay.
Second.
Taking travel times, happy match, 5.
I think we're okay, but a little hot.
We have to curl a long way.
Okay, weight's good. We're at the top of the house.
You're not going to bear it. Whoa. You're not going to bear it. Just keep it high.
Okay.
We got outside that range, so go ahead, yes.
Nose is in.
Alright, just for weight. Yep, okay.
Control. Gonna be straight.
Okay.
Yeah. In control, Ryan.
Clean. Breathe good. Clean. Just clean
Mike
it.
Dunnam gunning for Roger Stone.
Clean it right on. Yep. There you go. Good.
Whoa.
Nice shot.
Yeah. Hard.
So far, we have 6 watching.
That's good enough.
There we have Roger queuing up his second.
Well, the teams from the earlier finals, the second and fourth event finals, and several other club members watching from the warm room. We probably have a total of about 30 people.
Yep.
The chair, Christina Kisak, and I were just telling each other how happy we are to finally be back on the ice with this event.
Good inside.
I got like the tap. It's not as low as it was at the beginning, but I think you want like a 13.5.
Nice shot.
Going back.
Straight.
Just touching 8.
Actually, it's got a curl now.
Curl. Well, I think here actually.
Actually, straight. Go around it. Straight. You're around.
Andy Dunnam with his first stone of this game.
That's not bad.
Line seems good. Wait for curl if you can. Well, yeah, go. Yeah. Yep. Hard.
Daniel up next for the Dutts. Oh, check that.
Whoa.
Brian is throwing the Vice Rocks, and Daniel will throw the last rocks. I guess.
I saw it there.
Are you coming heavier weight? Come down to this line. Okay, normal, hard. Take this one out. Okay, is this ice good? Just like that. Curl side if anything. Curl side.
Brian gunning for the double.
Curl side, curl right rock.
Just outside. Oh, I think you're only going to get one. Yep. Curled just a little more than they were hoping.
Okay.
All right, here.
If we can guard,
Yeah,
like,
top 12 is great.
yeah, I wouldn't mind covering a little piece of that. Okay.
Jaspreet
Half that way,
Kaur
though.
sliding out of the hack on sheet 2
Line
for
looks good.
the Foster rink.
Okay. Yeah, line.
Red is sitting 2
I don't think it is.
and
It's
has
just gonna
hammer
crash.
in this
Up,
first end.
Get a little rub.
No, it's not. It's just clean. It's
Whoa,
clean.
whoa, whoa.
Looking for right here.
There's more weight.
The weight was good, actually.
No, it's gonna be good.
Andy's throwing a guard
That's good,
successfully.
Andy. Good.
Okay, I see the line now. Yeah.
You may hear some clapping in the warm room. We're presenting the awards for the second and fourth event finals.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Now, well, it's in slightly different position, but this is proportional. Yeah.
Ryan Dutt getting ready to try to run that red back.
Looks good. I want to push it over a bit, but it's wrong before.
Ooh, almost.
Yeah, put it in that hole. Okay. That hole? Like right here? I don't want it on. Next to it. Because then if they try to make that, I want to be able to make one. Like, yeah, everybody. As long as it crosses the line, like as long as it's there, there's no hole. If it's there, there's a hole. You gotta fully cross the line.
Skip rocks on both sheets. First one is away on sheet 2. Amanda's first. Playing very nicely.
Looks like she shot. Scott Dunnam, his first time. Oh,
3-4. Let's look for 3. Line only. You gotta cross the center line. Straight.
Weight there.
Whoa.
To 3.
Let it
First
die.
rock for Kyle Foster of Plainfield
Let it die.
on sheet 2.
Maybe a little down.
Okay, you're good. Oh, can you go down?
Okay, good spot.
pretty nice guard for Scott.
That's where I wanted it.
I think we just double
Yeah,
those two.
Yeah, the Dutts have hammers, so the Dunnam rink is simply playing defense, putting stuff in the way.
I think we want to hit it like
Yes,
one
Owen!
Yeah. But we need to make sure we roll the shooter out.
Another team being celebrated for their efforts this weekend in the warm room.
I would bet that Daniel's going to try for the run back double. We'll see what he gets.
I guess that's what they're left with. If he makes this shot, he'll be hard pressed to keep his shooter in the house or to even get the shooter in the house. Well, he's going to get rid of a yellow rock. Probably not in the planned manner. Does open things up. And there is a red biter now.
Yeah, but if we don't roll on, then
So the deuce is back on the table.
We definitely take it though.
I think I want this turn. We can roll anywhere over here. Ideally, I think I kind of want to roll it. But this is pretty good.
We'll hit it somewhere.
I saw the roll.
Yeah.
Up to 10 viewers joining us this afternoon. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions,
Straight.
please participate in
Hard
the chat.
straight. Hard straight. Take whatever roll you get. Hard straight.
The deuce is now off the table.
I'm going to throw just firm though. I guess
On sheet one,
And actually, I think it's size.
Oh, yeah.
hammer
I'll make sure we get it.
is
Yeah.
approaching the far hog line on sheet
Yeah.
2. Last week, asking for more and more sweep, doesn't quite get enough. They wreck on the guard. And I believe it was one yellow.
Roger. Roger. Roger all the way. Roger all the way.
Time for the
Roger all the way.
blank. No. Okay.
One red for the first end, sheet 1.
What's up? Hey, Mom, you're up.
Being tapped on the shoulder periodically and offered a warm handshake from folks that are heading back home on a Sunday afternoon after a fun weekend at Philadelphia Curling Club. Nice to have friends all over the curling world. Stones away for the second end of these first and third event finals for the 2023 Cracked Bell.
Roger. Okay, off. Thank you. Good eye.
The speed's a little bit better, but still not as fast. I'm fine with that.
Dunnam's have tapped the red rock through. Looks like we may be getting into a hit end here. Everybody makes their shot. The team with hammer gets one. If there's a miss, then the deuce comes back into play.
Now. Formation on.
Red loses the shooter, which means that yellow needs to draw this time rather than hit.
Don't want to go for 3. 4. 5.
bit heavy on the draw on sheet 1 and a little bit light on
Not one
sheet
yet.
2.
Yeah, I think that's a tricky spot.
Here it is. Yeah.
Not surprisingly, when the rocks were halfway down the ice, you could see the difference in speed. Two hits, double on sheet 2, single on sheet 1. Both games now sitting 1 red.
Straight way.
Pat O'Donnell throwing a yellow rock for Amanda Brockman on sheet 2. As the Bucks County sweepers take a break and stay close. Furiously sweeping on sheet 1. Andy looking up every few seconds to check. Just a little kiss on the way by, but not enough to get the red rock out.
Yeah.
Cleanup on aisle 2. Kyle decides to start peeling. Into that guard. Make sure that he has access to the forefoot for the last couple of rocks. The outside. Fortunately, a field goal, and in this sport, you don't get 3 for that. That sound was the dehumidifier deciding that the air needed to be dried a little bit.
Inflate its tube
Yes, indeed.
with a thud. Like Dunnam. Launching what we presume to be a takeout. Rogers Stone. Nicely done.
A little bit of a roll to give the other team a different look.
We can still clear. We can still clear one.
Flop it out a little on the outside. Just gotta make sure we're as long as
Yeah.
like, I think you can probably get that just through. Might take it out a little bit. Make good. Yeah. Know the other thing too, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
We've made some minor adjustments to our mix. Got a text message that the commentary was a little tough to hear with the ice background. Appreciate that suggestion, and would be interested to see whether that's enough of a change. Curlers do make some noise on the ice. an unfortunate outcome on sheet 2. Chipped the yellow rock behind cover rather than getting rid of it.
What was my last one?
This hit end on sheet 1 between two very good teams is playing out exactly as you'd expect. The question is whether the team with the last rock will decide to stick for one or try to roll out and blank the end, leaving the opportunity to score a little more than one in the next end while retaining the hammer.
I think that's good. Be ready.
I'd like to give a general shout out to all of our dozens and dozens of volunteers for this weekend. Working hard in the kitchen, and at the grill, and behind the bar, and out on the ice to create this event for our guests. Doesn't happen without the worker bees, and we really appreciate them.
Okay. What do you want? 14? We want back 2 line. If it's like back 4 back 8, it's 14 2. I think it's a little. This line's a little smaller. Everybody does inside out board. I don't want to hit a shot. I know, but usually here the ice doesn't get me up. So it's kind of like whatever this is. Okay.
Kyle Foster with his first red rock in the hack on sheet 2, hoping to tap the yellow through and roll behind cover himself. Draw for yellow seems a bit hot on sheet 1. Behind the tee line, Brian Dutt helping it to get all the way through the house and out of play. The squad from New Jersey has unfortunately ticked yellow again.
Give me an inch more ice. I'll bring my weight up.
There's probably a path to get there on the right side of the sheet. I guess the left side as we're looking at it on YouTube. But Amanda has elected to throw another guard or draw. I didn't see where the ice was tapped, but we'll find out shortly. Hit on the outside of sheet 1. For many of us club curlers, it's a very difficult shot. It seems like it's harder to hit those takeouts the farther you are from the center line, but handily done by Daniel Dutt.
Looks like Scott Dunnam will attempt to follow suit with maybe a roll toward the center.
Make sure. Good deal.
Stones away. Line looks good. Looks like he'll get the roll, but it might be a little too much. Sadly, for him, it was.
they hoping to stick? I didn't see the call. All right then.
Always a little nerve-wracking with throwing a line.
I'm not sure whether they wanted to maintain
People
the
just shove
option
that way. I think it might not
to
that
blank.
way.
Probably that was the
Kyle
case.
Foster, sorry.
Maybe that was. He was trying to blank to hold the hammer.
Kyle Foster with a hit on sheet 2, but rolls just a little too far into the back 12, leaving a steal for Amanda Brockman of 1. A couple of pretty tight games. 2-0 for yellow on sheet 2, and 1-0 red on sheet 1. Putting together the draw for this weekend was quite a challenge. We've had an embarrassment of talent, if that's the proper collective noun, show up for this spiel. We've watched some tremendous games all weekend long. Very exciting stuff.
A commencement of talent.
You're moving it, keep going.
I guess embarrassment goes with riches.
Only if you don't got him.
Yeah. Speaking of volunteers a few minutes ago, we've had some other worker bees. John Sr., Nancy Kimmins, Paul Sandin, and a few others working on improving the sound for our streaming system over the past couple of weeks.
Not to mention our illustrious commentator.
Thank you. And we've got a couple of microphones hung from the ceiling now, so we're no longer dependent on audio from the cameras mounted on the sidewall. Speaking of the cameras on the sidewall, that's our next move. We're going to find some better cameras and hang them along the dividing line between the two sheets so that we don't have this sort of strange angled view. That should make it a lot easier to figure out what's where and follow the action. But we appreciate the 16 of you who are now with us, enjoying the web stream. Lori Dunnam with a hit. Andy and Michael, her son and husband, sweeping furiously to hold the line.
Straight. Clean.
And a very successful nose hit for Lori.
Go ahead then. Yep, all the way. All the way.
Roger's 10 to curl. Swing.
Check that.
Roger Baldwin taking his turn with a hit.
Let's move this. Just, forward weight, Tom.
Shot, Ron.
Nicely done.
He does. Hits and sticks. Slight roll to change the view for Scott Dunnam and friends. Well, I should say and family, but I suppose they're friends too.
Control.
We'll see how that works out.
If the game goes well, they'll probably remain that way.
You're catching that. Got that. Okay.
They are competing to hold their long-standing victorious result.
I had thought, and actually expressed this in the warm room on Friday, that they had won the last 4 cracked bells. I was corrected, and I didn't buy it. So I went and looked at the trophy, and darned if the Dutts have not won it 5 times in a row. Unprecedented.
So the upstart
I think you're right.
Dunnams are looking to displace the everlasting Dutts.
Way outside.
Both of these dynastic curling families have a pretty deep bench to call on. As Nancy Kimmis was just pointing out, the cast of characters has changed a little bit from year to year for both teams, but they are always contenders. And the last 5 successful in the Dutt's case.
Sorry. I like cord. Okay. A little short's okay. I don't mind it in.
Red sitting 2 in the back of the house on sheet 2
Whoa.
as Ryan Sharp slides out.
Whoa.
Over
Yeah.
another red stone.
Yeah.
Yellow rock in the top of the house that they're trying to dislodge without jamming into the reds in the back of the house. Looks like he's hitting it at a good angle. He's safely punching it through the back of the house.
That is a hacker.
Try again, rolling. Go ahead, then.
Leslie Dutt holding the broom as Brian comes down to throw the vice rocks on sheet 1.
Can you let it work or no? You gotta go? Okay, that's fine then. All right, now let it. Nice shot, nice shot. Nice shot.
Draw for
Correct.
Pat O'Donnell on sheet 2. Beautiful draw down to
Rolling
6
back 4.
on the red rock, and now yellow is
Back
shot.
4.
And with the reds behind it, it'll be a multi-step process for the Foster rink to get rid of that yellow.
Back 4.
Okay, race good. Off.
Up to 19 watching now. Welcome to those of you who have just joined us for the Cracked Bell Finals in 2023.
Yes.
The last Cracked Bell was 3 years ago in 2020.
Just T right now.
Post-holiday COVID spikes have kept us dark this weekend.
Which way?
Previous 2 years, so we're very happy to be back.
Tip it. Tip here, tip it out.
I threw this guard to right there. Okay, line's good. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of our YouTube audience, it is a red letter day at the Philadelphia Curling Club. We have the illustrious Matt Mayock now joining me in the broadcast booth.
Hey, well, thanks, Ian. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't come here to teach anybody how to curl.
Push is not bad.
Okay.
I like corner freeze, I think.
well, let's just have some fun and watch a couple of games then.
There we go. Although
Sorry?
I'm at the bar working in 15
No, you're
minutes.
not getting
So.
inside it.
Okay, so you're with us for about an end.
About an end.
Good.
It's going to be the most fun end you've had today.
I believe that. Maybe all weekend. And thank you. You've spent quite a few hours behind the bar this weekend. We appreciate your time.
Well, as you know, it's kind of my happy place.
Yep.
It's a little easier when my daughters have moved out and don't have to be home dealing with that.
There you go.
So,
It's a wonderful thing when you can enjoy what you volunteer for.
absolutely.
Tap the guard. Is it curling at all?
No, it's touching that.
Okay. That's not too bad.
The Foster rink has managed to put 2 reds in the top.
Board.
Come here.
Only the one biting the button is counting. But Amanda is
They don't tap that
trying to
back.
figure out what to do to turn the tide back toward
Third
yellow.
shot, we're second. Back third.
Chatting with her team at the other end of the sheet,
Oh.
while Andy Dunnam
Let it go.
throws a hit on sheet
Curl it,
1.
curl it, curl it, curl it, curl it.
Mike sweeping, and right on the nose.
This is about the time I normally say something inappropriate.
Well, I guess we didn't say not safe for work on the YouTube channel, but That would be fine, as long as it's entertaining. Julie Jadlowski skating down to hold the broom for Amanda's rocks on sheet 2.
I'm afraid we.
Daniel Dutt with another turn throw and a hit for him on sheet 1.
Okay, let's do it. I don't want to throw too much, just like package. Yeah.
It's okay. Feels good.
Lots of long distance conversations on sheet 2.
It's really nice to be able to hear that.
Folks from Plainfield. Well, thanks.
Yeah. I love
pretty well.
Love having the mics out there.
Yeah, it's working out pretty well. That was well executed by Daniel and his sweepers. A little bit of a flop, almost behind cover, but it'll make it much more difficult for the Dunnams to go after that rock. A little bit less weight, perhaps, and a hair more ice to get around the guard. Amanda and Julie on sheet 2 trying to figure out how they can put themselves in a little bit better position without getting rid of the yellow behind the red rocks. Call that a jam. And the sweepers have got Scott Stone just past the guard.
That was tight.
It was indeed. Very, very well done.
Roll would be nice. Make sure we get it first.
This sort of thing is very disappointing to most club curlers, to discover that if you throw the right weight, hit the broom, and the sweepers do their jobs, you make shots.
It only takes a few things.
Well, I guess we've disappointed a few people because we're back down to 17 viewers.
My numbers are going down.
You're not trending.
I mean, how high did John have it? Was he up to like 19 when he was
20?
20, jeez.
Yeah.
Come on, people, pick it up for me, would you?
The trouble with this is that the people that aren't watching can't hear us. As obvious as that seems, they're the ones we need to appeal to.
I would imagine with you on the call here today, Ian, that most people that are watching have it muted.
Yes, probably. They can. They know what they're watching. I'll loop back to our trying to figure out the collective noun for talent. Chris Mahoney, president now of Bucks County Curling Club, suggests a menagerie of talent, perhaps.
Wow.
I think that's an excellent possibility.
You got to give me a minute to look that word up. I don't have a very large vocabulary.
Menagerie is usually applied to a group of animals, but I'm not certain.
I thought it was usually applied to a group of 3, no? Or is that different?
That's very different. And let's end that paragraph right here, right now. Thank you for playing.
I told you it wouldn't take long for something inappropriate to
if
come
all
out.
we do is hint at it, I think we're all right. I don't know whether that was subtle, but it wasn't overtly said. Okay. We've now broken up the log jam in the middle of the house at the other end of sheet 2. The yellow rock is still in the back 8. Hard to tell, but it
Looks like red might be 1 and 2.
might be 2 red. Generally an advantage to have your stones in the front of the house, of course. A little bit hot on the draw for Team Dutt. Scott Dunnam wants a corner guard this end, so maybe it won't be a hit end. Corey Dunnam is sliding out of the hack.
Oh, just biting. Might be right back to another hit end here.
Gonna try.
Solid takeout by Leslie. Try for the guard again here.
Andy and Mike Dunnam sweeping, encouraging the stone a little bit after the curl begins to break. Pulling that into a fine spot for a corner guard. There was discussion during the previous second and fourth event finals of strategy or tactics with hammer at the club level. And general agreement that the throw corner guards and draw behind them approach that we see at national and other premier events is a very difficult strategy for club level curlers to execute. And then we saw it play out on the ace. We saw a corner guard thrown, a draw behind it, unfortunately to the back 12, and immediately there was a shift in approach and we were drawing for the 4-foot. Right? And of course that's where the game is usually won and lost. No definitive answer as to what the best strategy with hammer for the club level is, but
you're certainly not going to get it from me.
I think there was quite a bit of support for just go for the 4-foot as soon as you can safely get there. Even if you do make the draw behind corner guards, they rarely count because the other team will have something closer to the pin.
Yeah.
Even with the two guards out front, we still have a very clean house. On sheet 1. Down to just 2 rocks in the house on sheet 2. And they're measuring now to see which is going to count.
Don't let it get in your head.
If I recall correctly, there was a red on the other side, but I don't know whether it stayed there through the end.
It was good.
Oh, it did stay there. Okay, so it's 1 red at least. They're just measuring to see if it's just 1 or 2. Mike Dunnam.
I'll be right up now.
6, 7,
Quite a few years ago, we changed up our traditional schedule a little bit at the first of a new year and moved the New Year's brunch to the last day of the Cracked Bell. And that has been very, very well received. We have quite a few club members who come and enjoy a fantastic meal and get to watch the finals on the ice. That tradition continues today with a delicious assortment of brunch foods.
Yeah, beautiful selection.
And also the traditional moose milk.
We've made 4 batches of it today. We're on the last batch, so if you want some, you better get it now.
I enjoyed a cup early, but if I'm going to keep my head in the game, I better not have a second cup until later on.
There's some lovely mimosas, I believe, if you're into that sort of thing.
Boy, and Bloody Marys. Good thing there's coffee.
Yeah, and it's about time for me to go to my bar shift.
Well, appreciate you dropping by for a little while.
Absolutely. Good to have a couple
Good
laughs.
to have you in the neighborhood.
You bet. All right.
2 red.
Good curling.
The score on sheet 2, as you can see on the scoreboard. So that measure result came out positive for the Plainfield curlers. Now that Matt Mayock has gone off to volunteer for his shift at the bar, we're joined by Laurie Neal. Welcome.
Hello, I was just at the bar too and enjoying a lovely mimosa.
Good. Oh, it's portable, I see. It's made it all the way over here to the glass.
Yes.
In a glass.
In a glass. We have some exciting curling today, folks.
Well, I'll tell you what, the thing that excites me is that when we got rid of Matt Mayock and added you, we bumped up to 21 viewers, which is our peak for the day. So congratulations.
Yeah, edge of the stone.
Welcome to our new viewers.
Or, I mean, even
We are checking the YouTube page, so if you have a comment or a question, please participate in the afternoon with us.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
Leslie Dutt practicing her son's name.
Daniel.
I think she's got it down. And another successful hit.
Well, he listened to her, so it must have been the right shot.
Well, that's good. That's good. Tie game on sheet 2 with Red putting up that deuce in the third end. Still a very low scoring game on sheet 1 with both ends 2 and 3 blanked and a single red score in the first end.
Like it worked out well. When I try and throw a dog,
Very, very narrow margin to get past the guard for that hit. The interesting thing, Ian, about this game, the Dunnams versus the Dutts, is there is no room for error. You miss once and the whole game is going to change.
It really is interesting for us sort of journeyman club curlers to watch this level of play. It's quite a display, and it simply speaks to the amount of practice that these folks get. They'll play a league game and stay on the ice afterwards and throw another 30, 40, 50 rocks, get together over the holidays and spend a couple of hours practicing. and you see the result.
Yeah, and Wayne Anderson too. I've had several occasions recently to play with him, and afterwards, like we're all getting off the ice, and he's like, "No, I'm just gonna keep throwing." Real good here. Another hit. I'm not sure what happened over on sheet 2 there, but there was a rock that, I don't know, maybe it was thrown with wrong handle or picked. It went to the wall and hogged. Perhaps it was a pick.
Roll like and just get a little piece there, you're tired. Yeah.
Red's going for a run back to get the shot yellow out. Beautiful execution there.
There are different attitudes at the club level about the efficacy of directional sweeping, but clearly these upper level competitors believe in it. And in fact, some club level curlers have said, yeah, that's fine. They're good enough to do it effectively. But a lot more club curlers these days are trying it, figuring maybe it's not working, but it can't hurt.
I don't think it can hurt. I actually do believe, I do buy into it, but it also depends on your style. If you are not up on your toe, like be up on your toes and put a lot of weight down onto the broom, because if you don't have that, then you're not going to be as an effective sweeper, and then directional curling, your directional sweeping isn't going to be really all that effective. Red's starting to take a full command of the house. There are no guards, but they're sitting 3.
Over on sheet 2, yeah.
Yeah, sheet 2. And sheet 1, we just have a hit. There are a few guards up, but nobody seems to be getting a buried rock after their hit. They're not getting that beautifully executed, small roll behind one of the guards. And we're coming down to hammer for Team Dunnam.
Actually, they're kind of like a routine here, so like everything is one line out of it. Like everyone hammer on the
My names to roll out, but they just kind of run me, so we take one from that.
Julie Jadlowski with the double on sheet 2.
Oh, lovely shot. Who is sitting shot over there? Red is still shot, but not by a lot. I do believe Red is shot. It's kind of close, but I do think Red has shot.
I agree.
And, oh, I looked away. And did they stick the landing, or did they spill and blank the end?
I confess that I too was distracted by sheet 2 and have no idea.
Well, yellow is going first, which means they scored.
Yep. I can actually watch the YouTube feed here, which is about 30 seconds delayed. And sure enough, the final rock stuck in the house. So, tie game, 1 apiece.
So we have a question from the warm room, and that is, how often do these families face each other? The answer is probably more often than one thinks, because they curl in the men's league. but the entire family is not always in the. So some aspects of the family will play probably once or twice per season, maybe more if there are tiebreakers or something at the end, like for men's league. But otherwise, there aren't. Yeah, well, I don't.
Well, John Gephardt is visiting us in the broadcast booth and asking about the Dutts and Dunnams, and how often they play against each other or with each other in some cases. And both in the men's league here and the Tuesday night league at Bucks County, Mike Dunnam and Scott Dunnam skip opposing teams. So that in terms of number of games, they probably play against each other a lot more than they do with each other. Absolutely, absolutely. Steel sharpening steel was the comment. Scott Dunnam and his team of high-level competitive men have gotten their ticket punched to go to men's nationals this season. So, of course, we're all very proud of that. The downside is that it can be a little frustrating to play against these guys in our club leagues. Yeah, it's always good when you play a team of that caliber and don't shake after 4. That's definitely a big difference, that they can throw the weight and hit the broom. Many of us can throw big weight, but the heavier we throw, the less likely it is that we'll throw it right up the pipe. So.
So over on sheet 2, we're down to skips rocks, and red is currently setting 1. They just took out a yellow, but unfortunately spilled. Oh, real nice shot by Leslie. Leslie Dutt took out the yellow rock and rolled behind 2 guards. So very nicely positioned in the top 4 behind 2 guards.
Perhaps she sensed your comment in the last end about hitting but not rolling behind cover. And that's her equivalent of saying, oh yeah? Watch hold my beer, right? That's the usual approach.
And go. Line's good, go. 3. Real hard then. 3, Mike. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're not a 2, keep going. 2. 3. Go. That's not bad. I can go for another shot.
Ooh, Mike threw down, probably trying to draw or something, but what it ended up doing was being a center line guard and just protecting Leslie's rock all the more. So now we're shaping up for a very different end than the hit end that we have been seeing from these teams for the first half of the game.
That's right. Even though we had some guards out front in the previous end, it was still open enough for hits. I would not be too surprised if this house stays similar for much longer. We'll probably see some runbacks.
Good shot, Roger.
Roger Baldwin throwing probably half buried, maybe. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it's not going to be buried enough. Mike's going to throw some heat here. We're going to see a lot of rock movement, I'm sure.
I think the call was for board weight, but we'll see. Doesn't seem hugely heavy, but so maybe they are going for the run back. Let's see how it plays out.
It's looking real good. Oh!
Wrecked on the higher guard, but
oh, I thought it was going to be good to hit the close guard.
I've got this tucking behind just right in here.
even though it wasn't technically a made shot, it still improves the look of the house.
Oh, very much so. Those guards, I mean, there were a cluster of 3 guards there protecting shot rock, and now it's a different story with 2 yellows protecting a red, so they can be run back.
Okay, if we can get here.
I think red is going to try to set up to.
Yeah, let them heal. We'll replace them. Okay. Pro side's probably coming a little heavy and tap. Yeah. And have their counter.
Basically the same thing you just threw, Raj.
Looking for the same thing from Roger Baldwin. Meanwhile, on sheet 2, wide open house. And Amanda Brockman is sweeping Kyle Foster's draw just over the back line.
So will yellow go, will Amanda go for a blank here? I don't think so.
It does look like the broom is in the place where I'd put it for a draw. So
Right, I know.
I think you're right. A little bit of a tap from Roger on his previous stone, doubling the amount of red granite in the forefoot.
Yes. Now 2 reds behind 3 guards. 2 of them are yellow. Two of the guards that are really protecting those 2 rocks in the top 4 are yellow. I'm thinking, is Andy trying to throw an in off here and maybe try to get a double or a triple?
Looks like he's coming with the heat.
Great.
Very exciting, very exciting. What's going to happen? Oh. Well, it was a nice shot, but they are sitting 3rd.
Don't tell him.
Well, Lori, we're up to 26 watching now.
Ooh, welcome, folks. Type in the chat, say hello, let us know who you are.
Yes, please.
Our 4-stone's not really going anywhere.
I, of course, can't read it with my blind self, but I think maybe Ian is not so challenged. He's got his Coke bottles on.
Absolutely.
And it does look like Amanda Brockman drew for 1.
Corner freezing on it.
Tight games on both sheets. Very entertaining for the folks in the warm room. A couple of dozen of us watching the games.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Dad, all the way.
Brian Dutt with his first of 2 Vice Rocks on sheet 1. And a slightly off-center guard for Amanda's team on sheet 2.
So what do you think this call is here? A guard to prevent them from tapping up the yellow?
That would be my guess. Ideally slightly overlapped with the yellow on the center line.
Mm-hmm. The guard on the other sheet would be perfectly placed on this sheet.
Stay close. Make sure it's in.
Hey.
Yep.
I need to stop.
Oh, a real nice draw behind for red. Better get in the house. Oh, it's a biter. It's a biter. I thought it was going to go further. And Mike Dunnam threw a pretty nice center line guard.
I think that was Brian Dutt.
All right, who did I say? Mike Dunnam. Oh, they both have white hair.
What do you have against white hair?
Well, you know, you got the salt and pepper going on. But yes, it was Brian Dutt. Mike's wearing a hat with the tag hanging out.
We like air low side rather than high side, I think.
Never.
Right on the nose might get both.
Scott holding the broom right where he wants his brother to hit it.
Draw 2 in.
Whoa!
Ruh-roh.
And we have some penguin curling on the ice. And is he going to make it? He makes
just gonna,
the
whoa.
shot. Wow, penguin curling for the win.
That was entertaining. And in
Oh, and we're going to get to watch it slow-mo. Where is it?
Beautiful club curling style. He owned it.
And made the shot. Oh, so we got one out. So Red still was sitting one. But from his belly, and he threw a rock, made the shot, ran it back, hit one of the red ones out.
Before the shot, Scott was expressing that hitting the yellow guard on the nose might get both reds, but they only dislodged the top. However, red is still shot.
Yes, it is. And still behind a few guards. There is a port now, which I believe that Brian, not Mike, Brian, same white hair though, is probably going to try to block up that port.
It's not going to help us out there, though.
And over on sheet 2, yellow is sitting in the top 4, and we have a red biter. And yellow just threw a very, very, very high one guard to try to prevent an angle raise on that red biter.
Super sweep job by Graham and Julie to get that over the hog line.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was going to make it for a while.
I don't think they were either.
Put your back into it, folks.
Ryan Sharp throwing.
Oh, and
close to the center line.
Brian placed a pretty nice guard, real high. There's a red guard blocking that port, so they can't just yellow can't come through and hit that red shot out anymore.
On sheet 2, Ryan has successfully eliminated the center guard, exposing the shot rock. However, the Brockman rink will try to put it right back.
Brockman rink throwing yellow, trying for a steal this end.
Pat O'Donnell.
That looks pretty heavy for a guard. Maybe it's going to slow down.
You know, I've only been curling for about, well, if you don't count COVID, 15 years. But I've never seen one speed up.
Oh, well, don't you curl at the clubs where the one end is downhill from the other? Because
it sure feels that way sometimes. It sure feels that way sometimes.
No, actually, even though that rook looked like it was kind of heavy, it was a nice 3-guard.
Well, there's an unfortunate toss by the skip, Scott Dunnam. Tap back to try to dislodge the red, and unfortunately he got rid of his own stone.
Well, he still has one sitting in the top 8.
Yes.
But however, well, red is throwing now, so Dutts are throwing, and this is the first skip rock.
Red has hammer this end.
Red does have hammer this end.
So we probably won't see a guard. We'll probably see an attempt to count 2.
Yep. And if he gets full white, full top 8, then he will be sitting first and second and covering up his own. Lighter is better here. Lighter's the pro miss because you would be able to, anything landing on the 4-foot line would guard the shot rock.
Daniel is skating down to have a few more words with Brian about exactly what the plan is.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to throw control, but if I call like
Right here's fine.
Yeah, he was right here.
Yeah.
Yep, and he's looking to call exactly what I just mentioned, is basically on the 4-foot line, full 8 or full white to sit 2 and block his own shot rock.
Yes.
Jaspreet Kaur throwing the hit for the Foster of Plainfield rink on sheet 2.
Going for the double here.
Sweepers are on it.
Come on, guys.
Sweepers are going hard, and
it
they just
crashed.
wrecked on the guard.
And one of the yellow guards got popped in. It looks like yellow is actually sitting 3 over there.
Go for weight. He doesn't need it. Oh, never mind. It's heavy. No.
Daniel's draw has come down to tap the other red rock back just a wee bit. And it looks like there's about a half a stone between the two reds.
It's really close.
Based on where the broom is, Scott feels that if he hits the top red rock just a little bit outside nose, they will both go away.
I think even if he doesn't, he might still be able to score one here. Even if it jams, I think he could score one. Oh, this is not hammer. My bad.
It is the last yellow rock of the end.
He's going to get past that guard, and it does, and doubles them out, but also spills a shooter. So currently, yellow is sitting one with the draw path open either handle for the Dutts in a force, though, because there is one yellow rock in the house. I think Brian is suggesting nope, they are going for the draw. I think there was a moment where he said, hey, do you want to hit this and maybe blanket? But they're definitely going for the draw where there are no rocks in play to crash against or promote.
In the fifth end, you start to wonder whether it's early enough to try to have the hammer at even ends, so you have it in the eighth. But their calculation said no, not yet.
So Amanda Brockman's team, throwing yellow on sheet 2, is still sitting 3, and Amanda looks probably is going to be throwing a guard there to protect her 2 rocks that are more vital.
Yes, red has hammer on sheet 2 as well. Including this stone that's in motion, still 4 rocks
All right, 3
left.
sweepers get it there to just about the top 4. Dutt scores 1, and now the Dutts are winning 2-1. And yellow regains hammer in the even ends. And over on 2, Amanda's guard was withdrawn to the top 8. So now they are sitting 2 in the top 8, guarding 1 in the top 4, and then they have a biter that is barely nibbling the crumbs of the house.
Jaspreet holding the broom for Kyle, figuring that if he puts a hot red rock in between those 2 yellows, good things will happen.
Triple is possible here, for sure. You hit it right, triple is possible. He would need to come with a peel weight, because that was a lot of granite to move.
That is not peel weight.
That is not peel weight.
Yeah. Whoa.
He's got 1 more stone, so he's a patient fellow.
Oh,
Gets
well,
rid of 2.
Nope, did not get rid of 1, so he's now got 2 biters, like 2 rocks nibbling the house. Oh, sorry. Amanda Brockman has 2 rocks nibbling the house. And there is also a red one, but I think the 2 yellows are out counting. Yellow is sitting 1 in the top 4. And I think they're going to try to take out that red rock that was just thrown. It's on the center line, but there is a risk of jam. Not the good kind that you have with peanut butter.
I don't want to touch it. 5.
Corey Dunnam asked for a corner guard by her son Scott.
And lovely execution.
Are we coming around or throwing short?
very different end shaping up here already, and only 2 rocks in. 2 guards thrown up. Brian calling for a draw behind, but if it's a guard, it's okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
The Brockman rink from Bucks County is trying to figure out on sheet 2 whether they want to hit the red rock that's in the top 8 or put up a guard to protect the shot rock. Yellow has next rock, and then red has last rock on sheet 2. Scott Dunnam looking for Mom Lori to draw behind the center guards on sheet 1. Andy and Mike sweeping. And then they stop. I believe the weight is okay.
This looks real nice to come in for a draw.
As the weight comes off, will it bury? About half.
Yeah.
Brian Dutt calling for backline weight.
I think we just draw down to them, Dad.
Those nice down weight hits are a good skill to have.
Amanda Brockman with her final rock of the 5th end in this 3rd event final. Roger Baldwin with a backline weight. Looks like this may be over curling on them.
Yes. It looks kind of light too, very light. We're going to get some sort of tap up here. It was a double tap actually. He kind of promoted the guard into another guard and threw that to the, ended up in the top 12.
Scott Dunnam calling for another draw, about 3 feet shorter, perhaps biting the 8 foot. If they get that half buried, it's going to be extremely difficult for the Dutts to dislodge both yellow rocks. Amanda's Yellowstone on sheet 2 came to rest in the top 12 in front of the red rock.
It did bump up the red rock. The yellow rock is still sitting shot on sheet 2.
Trying to balance the weight and the curl on this draw for Mike Dunnam on sheet 1. Looks like instead of sitting high, they're going to get a freeze, which also makes it difficult to get rid of both yellow rocks.
And they're probably about half buried.
I mean, it's still, if we can draw one on top, that's still good.
Brian taking extra time.
It's either that or we
think
start
about
running
what's going
things.
on here because this is now not a clean call.
Yeah, I think we're going out of that weight is perfect.
This is a curious call that I wouldn't have thought about. So Brian's call here is to sit down on top of those 2 rocks that are in the 4 foot.
He's going to give them a little tap. Get a little separation. They're also trying to keep the red rock poking out from behind the guard so that they can hit it again.
All right, so they did tap, and the back yellow went to the back 8. But there's probably only about 2 inches between the red rock and the shot yellow that's in the top 4.
That's hard to do. Isn't it better to hit the center line one and roll to a corner without jamming? I assume they're right on top of this. I see half, 3rd rock. You also just bomb.
Well, the playing field team over on sheet 2 was able to score 1 in the end of the 5th. So they are now tied game. And the Bucks team has hammer.
We make the same shot? still need to make sure we get by that guard. That guard's still kind of helping us.
Okay.
Alright. Sorry, I'm gonna shoot high.
The Dunnam Dutt game is about half an end ahead in their first event final as compared with the third event final. These finals are not timed. There's nothing scheduled on the ice until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So there's no time issues for any of these teams.
It's a curious decision by the Dunnams. I kind of like it. There are a lot of rocks in play now. Several of 5 rocks in the house and 3 guards. This is a very, very different kind of game than we saw in the first 4 ends.
Absolutely.
Which were all hit ends, which is why they're running, half an end ahead. It's always nice when you go to events and you play a game. Actually, kind of not nice if you're playing against a team that not only are they a hit team, but they can draw too.
Yeah, I've been trying to not.
It's always challenging to beat those teams. And we have 2 teams here that are playing one another that have all of the skills. So it's a very, very tight game.
It's a great final.
Yes. 2 teams that very much deserve to be in this final.
Yeah, who's a run straight?
Oh, yeah, you can get that easy. No, we got it. But look, we can hit the inside of it.
That's what we need. I wanted to get inside of it.
Hair less.
We can roll. I can roll it straight. It's not gonna do much. But just have it.
The playing field team trying to draw behind. Rock was quite hot, but it clipped the guard and it took enough off of it to sit back off.
Weight's good.
Daniel Dutt sweeping hard to keep his
Mother happy.
dad's rock off the guard.
You know, considering they're not sitting shot, it's a pretty good situation here.
The red rock that just got tapped up a little bit into the 4-foot is very dangerous.
Andy's suggesting an angle raise of a yellow guard. But Andy and Scott are discussing all the potential risks of angling.
Another draw for Plainfield on sheet 2. Sweepers on again, off again.
Like just left.
Oh, this looks like it's going through.
It seems like it's a little bit hot again.
Oh, it might, no, it's sitting down. And it's just half to 3/4 into the back 12. So red is now Plainfield is throwing red, and they are now sitting 3 all in the back 12.
Well, we've rearranged a few of the deck chairs here. Still sitting 1 yellow. Still with a red rock in the top of the 4-foot. But not quite as threatening as the other red rock that left town was.
And over on sheet 2, the Bucks drew one in, and they drew to the top 12. So it's kind of evenly matched, with red sitting one, maybe two.
You can be a little heavy, but it's just a draw.
Looks like they're sitting.
I don't think so.
Get inside edge of the yellow.
Downweight tap to dislodge the yellow, I guess, here on sheet 1.
A little bit more.
Jaspreet throwing another draw for Plainfield on sheet 2.
Looks like a nice weight. Just need to get it past this yellow rock in the top 12. Is it going to get past? And it is. Lovely, lovely, lovely Jaspreet. She throws to the back 8, but it just skirts by that yellow rock in the top 12, and now red is, oh yeah, red is definitely sitting 3.
Back on sheet 1, the attempt to come down and tap the shot rock drifted out and just kind of hung, so it did not curl and ended up tapping the yellow corner guard into the house. Definitely seen a momentum shift here. The Dutts look very, very strong for the first half of the game, but this end has the possibility to turn things Scott Dunnam's way. And on sheet 2, Julie Jadlowski's stone bounces off of Jaspreet's. Cuts the Plainfield lead down to 1.
And Plainfield does not have hammer at this end. I've had the pleasure of curling with Julie in a league and in an event at Bucks. Very lovely woman to play with. And often comes up with some amazing shots on the skips rocks, unlikely shots, and she will execute them with great precision to haul her team out of the sludge that they put her in.
Jaspreet with a guard to protect that shot rock in the back 8 on sheet 2 for Plainfield. And I believe we finally have a decision here. Well,
mostly.
Maybe just dialing in some of the final details for this call on sheet 1.
So what? Oh, are they going after the guard now? Or that rock? Oh, maybe it's so. Red has 2 rocks, top half into the top 8 and partially into the top 4, and they're angled offset, and I believe that Andy is going to try to hit and split these out, leaving them sitting 4. Let's see if he can.
And I think what's going to happen here is he's just going to peel the guard.
Oh, and it cleared the yellow that had just been promoted into the house by red. He cleared that out.
Amanda Brockman fencing the first sheet for them.
Ooh. And yeah, Amanda Brockman has a lovely draw to the back 8 to now sit shot. I think Kyle is probably trying to come with the downweight. I don't know if it's going to be a downweight hit or like just a heavy draw to tap back that yellow so he can sit 2.
Boy, was that well managed. Nice call, nice sweep, and a good throw from Kyle Foster. Team shot on sheet 2. Plainfield now sitting 2 in in the back of the house on sheet 2. Up to 28 viewers with us now this afternoon.
Welcome.
Thank you all for
Put a message.
spending
Tell us
some
you're
time
here.
with us.
We'd like to know who's watching.
We are paying attention to the chat.
Our crowd has certainly dwindled down.
Well, brunch is over, so
Brunch is
there's
over.
that.
I worked very hard in the kitchen this morning to make that brunch. And it was delicious.
You and John Gillespie and Robin Flavel. And
Yes.
I'm not sure who all.
It was just us. And Mark manned the bar for a while.
Six now. We've dropped a couple.
Uh-oh. See, Mark, you walked over and 2 people dropped off. Mark Jones was wondering how many people were watching. Thank you.
Whoa. How deep is it? You don't want it too deep. Mine's great. Stop.
Cigar.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering.
You can certainly tell that the complexity of this end is making it much harder to figure out exactly how to call each shot.
Sheet 7, it's better to be short. And we throw a couple.
Especially when you're looking at the two games side by side, where the sheet 2 was a half an end behind. They are now actually a rock ahead. On sheet 1, we have a lot of discussion to make sure that the right shot is being called.
Plainfield puts up another guard to protect their 2 red rocks in the back of the house on sheet 2.
Are all rocks in play? Only 1 rock is not in play over on sheet 2.
Here comes the first skip rock from Scott Dunnam, who has hammered this end.
I think Amanda is looking on drawing on the other side of the house because the one side is pretty heavily guarded, and she would just need to take a healthy bite out of the 4-foot to score 1.
Little rub on red guard puts Scott Dunnam's rock in a good spot to protect his shot rock yellow on the button.
So both sheets, the skips are figuring out what they want to do here, where they want to hold the broom, and what call they're going to have. Amanda is actually looking at a tap up, not a draw behind, which I think is probably a better call because from what I understand, the ice isn't curling a whole lot. Fascinating call from Brian here. Probably, I don't know if I would have thought about this call. They are calling to guard the yellow guard. So that way yellow can't tap that up to knock the red out. And then probably sits.
I really don't think it's going to move at all.
You're close.
And both skips rocks, hammers are being thrown. Sheet one, the guard looks pretty nice. I do believe it has, oh, it's got a little rub off of another guard, and it is, oh, sitting right about a foot in front of the yellow.
Looks like a steal of 2 for Plainfield. Amanda came up a little bit short and tapped one of the higher guards than the one she was aiming at.
Tom, let's come in. Top 8. Top 8. Just a little low gets it, right?
So Scott trying to throw something fancy here, and this would be a tap, tap, tap.
A guard is fine, guys. You can give me hair less. Guard is fine.
Maybe just 2 taps. But he's trying to hit the red that hits the yellow to bump it up. To either hit the red that's top 4 or just sit second. If they hit the red that's top 4 and kind of stay, then they could possibly get 3. Oh!
Narrowly avoided doing some costly damage there.
Yes, he almost hit the shot rock, and with that weight, he would have knocked it out, and red would have scored at least 1.
But even with that complicated end, we end up with a score of only 1 yellow. Tie game now on sheet 1 as we head into the 7th end. 7th end already underway between Bucks County and Plainfield over on sheet 2. Plainfield leading that game 5-3.
Oh, yeah.
Now, both of the Plainfield teams had to play at 8 a.m. in the semifinals. But as wonderful, Philadelphia did not make them play back-to-back games, which I think some clubs would have. But instead, we have the first and third events playing at prime time, where the second and fourth events played a little earlier today.
Line is good. Line is good. Okay. Over now. Good. Sorry.
32. Well, no, I'm wrong. Now it's 31. Watch.
Rip.
But I did see 32 a moment ago, and I'm pretty sure that's our peak for the weekend. So that's pretty exciting. The viewing audience is tens of people.
Want it in.
Tens, I say.
Okay.
Now, I do know of one household where there is a couple watching the stream, and that probably only counts as one.
Nice shot, Les.
Yes.
All right, one more guard.
So perhaps it's way, way more than you're seeing on the screen. Both teams on sheet 2 playing for the middle of the ice.
Let's come this
Lots
way.
of rocks out front.
Top 4.
Kyle Foster calling for a draw behind the mess. Sheet 1, we've got a wide red counter in the top 12. Lori Dunnam drawing for the middle.
He's there. He's just clean. Can't go. Okay. The 4.
It's looking kind of nice. Looking like about a top 8, top 4. Scott certainly scrolled. Top 12 center line.
Bring it if it needs it. The line's good though.
Yeah.
It is sitting shot.
It's like back four.
Yep.
Calm.
Finish.
Just control, Wes.
Trying to get a little area.
Just like I said, front four.
Leslie throwing for a hit and roll here.
Just go down. A little bump is okay.
And Plainfield getting the draw to the top four behind a bunch of guards. Probably sticking out some.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, a little bit there. Straight.
Leslie Dutt with a nice hit on Lori's top 12 stone. A slight roll.
Control.
Scott calling for his dad to throw hit and roll, while Graham and Julie are sweeping Pat O'Donnell's rock almost into the house.
No.
Little tick on the guard.
No, it made it. It's a biter. It did tick onto a guard. If it did not tick the guard, it probably would have been top 8.
Draw. Top 4. Yep. Straight. Whoa. I did know rather than another
Oh, perfectly executed by Mike Dunnam. Got the hit and the roll to be directly behind their guard, which immediately Brian went up and he's calling for peeling the guard.
Okay. Wait, a lot? Or I think you gotta go line. Yeah, line. There it goes. Yeah, line.
Greenfield sweeping a Ryan Sharp stone. And as has happened with almost every rock this end on sheet 2, just missed the guard.
Roger running back the guard, hitting out the shot rock, and the guard is now biting the top 12, about half, 3/4 in.
How heavy?
Like solid
And
control.
Red leading a very high center line guard.
All right, up. Work low. All right, nice.
Amanda Brockman calls for Pat O'Donnell to throw a downweight hit on sheet 2. And she does. About back line weight.
Clean. Yep, straight right to it.
Red rock sticks around. Yellow is now
Right to it.
sitting 2
I don't mind top 8
and sitting
either.
1 and 3.
I can't.
Yellow with hammer on sheet 2, and red with hammer on sheet 1.
Just slightly off nose, Raj.
Okay, yeah.
Roger Baldwin throwing for a
Line's
double
okay.
here.
Yeah. Stay on it for line, actually.
Needs to hit on the outside.
Yeah, line,
and
yes, line,
yeah,
yes,
looks
line.
like it's just going to nose
Yes,
it.
line.
Yes, just nose it.
Narrowly missed a double.
Okay.
Leslie.
Like the guard? No. Definitely not.
Run this one in.
Doesn't have, like, I was just thinking here.
Amanda Brockman asking Julie Jadlowski
You don't want
to
to chisel
throw
the red.
control weight angle raise.
Yeah.
Looks like less than control. Sweepers are on it.
Julie, I know, can execute this shot.
It's always straight. Hard straight.
A little bit inside nose,
Where's it now?
unfortunately. And
Whoa.
Yellow Rock is going to be promoted to take out the red. Has trickled out over the back line.
And the shooter rock is taking a nice cover of that shot red rock.
All right, kind of Christmas tree.
Get to the center.
Okay.
Roll the, yeah.
O'Brien's going for a double of the 2 yellow rocks.
Whoa, it's gotta work. Tom? Yeah, both, yes.
This is, can he, I don't know if the double here is really very likely. He would have to nose yellow, but the yellow is sitting behind a very high card. So I hope that it will move enough.
Jaspreet Kaur with a very nice angle tap up to add a second red counter over on sheet 2.
We can take away the guard.
Julie Jadlowski with a similar call to tap yellow up into the shot rock. Just sort of says hello.
Kisses it, yep. Well, the rock that Brian just threw did not curl enough to nose the yellow rock that was in the top 8.
Really close. I like the guard.
So yellow is still sitting 1.
I'm not sure the double was there, especially with the weight he needed to throw in order to get around the guard.
Right.
But it leaves the red shooter in a very good spot.
Yes. A straight tap back and he can get rid
Just
of
that
it.
halfway, like 6 feet less.
However, is Scott throwing for a guard here to protect that?
I would expect to see a little more based on where the broom is.
It looks heavy to me, guys. Clean it now. Okay, off. Fine.
And he throws a very, very tight guard.
It's fine. If they hit it, they're
About 2 inches outside of the house. Still, the tap, tap, tap is there.
Indeed.
I think I would take that bait.
Do it now.
He's just off nose.
Amanda and Julie talking about
No, he's still normal. You gotta move
Amanda's first shot of this 7th end over on sheet 2.
We're hitting R5 in there for.
Amanda skating down to throw it.
There are 7, do I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guards in the draw path over on sheet
The
2.
important thing is make contact with the yellow. And I think, honestly, if we hit this anywhere on this half, like the outside half, I think we're making contact or. You can throw control. Actually, I think I like control weight. It's not going to move much. I think on that 4-foot line.
Okay.
Like a hair less.
I think a lot of people are probably casting the YouTube onto their television, which is why they're not saying hello in the chat. But if any of you are sitting on your computer, please throw a shout out.
Simultaneous slides. You don't see that too often, but both are so focused that it doesn't bother either of them a bit.
Roger, 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 Roger. Not hitting it.
Wait. We have it. Oh, beautiful execution by Brian Dutt. Beautiful execution. I think he thought he maybe had missed it, but it hit yellow into red into yellow.
So we have 4 skip rocks remaining on sheet 1 and 2 skip rocks remaining on sheet 2. Kyle Foster coming back to deliver his first rock, his second rock of the 7th end.
Yeah, I just don't want to jam in it.
He's calling for a guard. Red is sitting 2 behind all the guards in the world. And it does appear that Amanda's draw behind ended up being a 2.
A little wider.
Yeah. Not the line. I'd rather not touch it early.
It's wide.
Okay.
Yeah, to get
A
behind.
little heavy too. More?
Yes, to get behind.
I don't think it's that heavy.
Yep. Whoa.
Hard straight!
I was trying to see if we could
Hard
get
straight!
And Kyle's guard over curling.
Yeah, whoa!
Scott Dunnam with an expertly executed tap to punch the red between the yellows to go right out the back of the house. He's now sitting 4 yellows.
Yeah, so you want to be poking out a little bit.
The Dutts do have hammer
I
though.
think we just want to be like splitting the T line here, or splitting the center line here.
Looks like Amanda and Julie are looking for either an angle raise or to bounce off the top and go in off of the yellow stone in the left-hand side of the house. Over on sheet 2. Ginger's here, there's definitely a scale.
Everyone can hear you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no juicy gossip tidbits to share. Sorry.
No, but we do have the Susie Baldwin in the house. She is a rare
It's a rare treat.
treat for Susie Baldwin, but she's here, you know, not only cheering her sister and brother-in-law, but her husband is out there too, doing his best to help out this team.
Weight's good. Weight's good.
A swing and a miss from Amanda Brockman
Another steal of 2.
on sheet 2. Hands another steal of 2, quite right, to Kyle and his merry pranksters from Plainfield.
Is that their team name?
No.
So we had a very, very tight game through 5 ends with a tie at 3-3, and Plainfield has pulled away and is now 7-3 with 2 steals in a row.
Can you just guard the tap deck and make him draw for 1 this way? I still play this. I would just try and throw past that yellow.
What?
You want to get to here?
So Daniel Dutt threw down and is sitting in the top 8. Out counted 2 of the yellows. The yellows
I think you either guard that side and make him draw, or you like. I think you try and barely touch this, but if you can, just go.
The Dunnams are having a family meeting in the house at the far end. Everybody contributing.
Mother Lori has got a big smile on her face. Loved Andy's shirt yesterday, and I don't know if you paid attention, but Andy was wearing a shirt that said, "My mom says I'm special."
Barely full 8.
And Susie is over here going, "Aw." That could be said multiple ways to mean multiple things.
Last time I did the wheat, I did really well.
Oh,
3 years.
you guys still have
All right.
Looks hot.
Scott Dunnam Stone halfway down the sheet. Andy and Lori sweeping and then not sweeping and then sweeping and then not sweeping. So the weight must be pretty close.
Clearing past the guard, very close, about a ½ inch past the guard. And coming in a beautiful draw to the top 4.
Now that's interesting because if Daniel is able to draw down and tap that just a little bit, I think he would take one for the end.
Well,
The other option, of course, is the angle raise on the right side. They're looking at that now.
I can't hit that. I can't hit that. It's fully okay. I think we have to play hitting our 7 into it. The question is how much weight.
Well, you don't want to spill out, but you still give 2. And, you know.
But if it dead jams on that.
thank you to all of the people who have put in the time and effort, including John Sr. and Ian Alexander for the audio, video, and commentary.
Yeah, we also had help from Paul Sandin
and
Jennifer
Like
Ying.
air on more ice, if we clip this, we're still just punching it up and stay only. You want to take one?
Roof buttons.
I think I need to throw.
It was not an easy
The attic
task.
animals.
Yeah, not an easy task to set all this up.
I mean, we're playing to hit this into there, so we have to move this at least 4 feet.
I guess we're now having alternating family
Yes,
meetings.
I was
on
just going
sheet
to say
one.
the Dutts are now having an extended family meeting. I don't know, Susie, Ginger, you might need to get out there and join the family meeting.
Warm room says, no, we're staying right where we are. Thank you very much.
And over on sheet 2, Plainfield has a draw, and now they're sitting one on the button and one right next to it in the 4-foot. But it's a real nice pocket. But it's the 8th end, and Bucks needs to score 4 to tie it. And right now they have 2 guards, 1 corner, 1 center guard.
I'll take a look at that, but I think it's.
Here comes Pat O'Donnell's stone.
That looks like it could be a double with the weight if it hits it right.
I think what they'll probably end up doing is just tapping it back a bit.
Yeah, tap it back.
But that ends up in a real good spot.
Yes.
Unless Plainfield hits it on the inside.
Yes. If they hit it on the outside or nose it, it's probably going to stick around.
At the board.
Looks like the
I think we need to hit it about here.
Dutt family has settled on the angle raise.
Yeah, well, you're going to thin, you're going to come off the yellow.
And this is touchy. If he gets to full nose, the red rock goes straight out the back of the house and doesn't touch anything. And if he's just a little bit thin, as Brian was just pointing out, he bounces off the yellow up top and skitters away to no effect at all.
He really just needs to hit it on the outside to angle it over that shot. And it's going to be on the outside. Hopefully it's not going to hit that yellow first.
It did.
Oh, and it tapped it up, and it is sitting 2nd shot. So, no, sitting 3rd shot. Sorry, steal of 2 by the Dunnams.
That is the biggest end in this game so far. And Scott and his brother can throw hits, and I bet you'll see a few this end.
Well, considering the way the first half of the game went, I would not be surprised if the Dunnams are just doing everything in their power to prevent the Dutts from having rocks in play. Now this is crucial for Lori, not Lori, but who's throwing lead? Leslie, right? It'll be crucial for Leslie to put up her guards.
Family Dunnam sweeping Lori's rock into the top 4, top 8.
Center
Very
line,
nice.
center line, top 8. Very lovely rock.
Corner guard is the call for Leslie to throw.
You can't go for the bait of hitting that out, because if you do, it's just going to be a hit game, and they need to have 2 to tie it.
Meanwhile, on sheet 2, Plainfield sitting 3, and the Brockman rink is chasing to try to find a way to
Over the years, I used to
turn this around.
In juniors, I used to be like right at the perfect time for it.
That's one.
I have to remember to like.
Red gone.
That's so annoying.
There's 2 more
However,
counting.
but there are 3 yellows in the house.
They do have them surrounded.
They do have them surrounded. However, if there is any possibility of getting those 2 red out, which really look unlikely. They are side by side, frozen.
No, I won't wait. Lori.
But yellow does have the rocks in the house.
Jaspreet, board weight hit to try to eliminate one of those yellows.
Lori Dunnam throwing a nice 3 center guard, covering maybe half of the first rock she threw. Brian calling for a corner guard on the other side of the house.
Weight's good.
No, that's not what he was calling. Oh, he's calling for another corner guard on the same side.
Two good ones.
Ooh, I don't know if this is going to get over. Oh,
Over on sheet 2, Amanda asking Julie for a control weight hit to try to dislodge at least one of those reds in the 4-foot.
red succeeding in getting out one of the yellows that had been in the house.
Well, they have succeeded, moved one red to the back, but pushed the other one over behind cover. Still
I think
2
it
red.
just- yeah. One sitting on the button and one biting the back for it.
Mike Dunnam with a high guard. Now they have overlapped guards protecting the shot rock in the top 8. Pretty good position.
I don't know, maybe more penguin curling.
Oh, that was easily the highlight of the day for me.
I had the experience penguin curling. It was quite successful as well. Good thing there was a corner guard way off in the Netherlands where no one's ever going to need it.
We all have one of those deliveries from time to time.
Yeah, well, that rock that seemed like it was never ever going to be anywhere near play ended up being a saving grace. For
Straightforward peel the guard.
Cover it up. Mike's just gotta throw the same thing, same call. And over on sheet 2, Red calling for a guard. Red is currently sitting 2. They still have 3 rocks in the house. But we are down to Skip's rocks, and I'm not sure there's any way for Yellow to get 4 here.
It's pretty tough.
Same thing.
Can I buy you one?
Might be able to get a double now. But same trying to just throw.
And going to enjoy some of the moose milk that he created. There is a massive punch bowl that is still half full. Roger throwing to clear the guard that Mike had just put up.
I still like guard,
Spilled
there's
the
no fuel,
shooter.
it's good.
Scott calling to put that guard back up again.
If they can continue to replace the guard successfully for the rest of the end, come out on top. But at some point, the Dutts will get a double or something else will happen. Very resourceful.
This is reminding me of one of my daughter Ivy Neal and Sarah Basiri are on a U18 team, and they're going to U18 Nationals this week. And they were in a game, and it was a tied game. They went to an extra end, and Sarah had a wonderful draw to the button behind some guards. And they had, Ivy's team had staggered guards. The other team would take one out, and they'd put one back, and they ended up taking the win.
Excellent.
It's very reminiscent of this game. Although the guard that Andy just threw is a little deep, so it's side by side with another guard. So it is possible for the Dutts to clear both of these guards at one time, which gives them a slightly better advantage than with the stagger.
Since they're not staggered, it gives the Dutts the opportunity, if they choose, to run one back and try to double out the shot rock.
I think he's trying to throw a crotch double on these. The problem with that is then you leave your shot as a centerline guard blocking the opponent's shot.
True enough, although they would consider red to be a prettier color sitting up there.
Yes. Over on sheet 2, we're coming down to Amanda Brockman's first rock. Plainfield's still sitting 2. House hasn't changed. That must have been a long conversation to decide what to do there. Oh, almost got the double.
Almost. So the challenge remains for the Dunnams to put that guard back.
You want like a 1.5 this time, right?
You may have noticed that our white noise machine just shut down.
I was going to say it's so much quieter with the humidifier.
That's our dehumidifier, and
Dehumidifier.
it'll be a lot easier for you to hear what's going on, so I'll be quiet.
Amanda trying to run back and hit on the inside and angle the guard out instead of back into the house, into the pile of red rocks. And we have handshakes on sheet 2.
Congratulations to the Foster Rink from Plainfield. victorious in the 2023 Cracked Bell third event final. They'll come back into the warm room and share a little time together at the table, get their awards, and head home tuckered out after a very fun weekend of curling.
Unfortunately, they don't have too far of time to go home. Plainfield Curling Club is about an hour and a half or so from here. We have another Dutt family meeting. We have
applause in the warm room for a very entertaining game.
Andy Dunnam was successful in throwing a staggered guard again. The Dutts are now faced with the two remaining rocks that they have. Must be counting. They do have 4 corner guards.
Be very quiet. We're watching curling. Normally in sports, someone in the crowd will choose a team and then heckle the other team. But here at Philadelphia Curling Club, they heckle the commentators. No, we don't like new traditions here. Change is bad. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Still have 5 rocks to deliver in this contest.
Oh, I thought we were down to 4. Well, this makes things a lot better. Red needs to score 2 here to tie it up, and they have 3 rocks left.
If they do, we'll have bonus curling.
Woohoo! 5 and unders can wait.
Just tighten up the broom.
Tighten a little bit left.
We do have some 5 and unders starting to populate the warm room.
I don't think they're going to curl for another 36 minutes.
Well, it'll be a little longer than that if the Dutts have anything to say about it. Oh, the double did not happen, although Brian tried very hard. So this lineup is a little curious for the Dutt rank. Daniel's throwing last, Brian's skipping, but Leslie's holding the broom when Brian's throwing.
Mm-hmm.
Not your typical
True, but then
positions.
they have Roger and either Brian or Daniel sweeping.
No, we don't want to be able to come through and roll under one after us. What are we doing? Like 3/4.
What do you want?
3/4.
3/4.
Or 3.
I did a 3. We don't leave them a double.
Well, if we leave them a double, or they roll over.
We don't want to leave them a thin double. We don't leave them a thin double where he sits under the middle.
Okay, warm room pool.
He's pretty
How many more family meetings are there going to be in this game?
There
could be another end.
3 more after this one being thrown right now.
There could be another whole end.
And I'm guessing he's just calling for another offset guard. And it looks like it'll be good. Basically.
It needs to curl, though.
Just over the hog line. It's curling. It's curling. He got a 1 guard that's kind of offset. I mean, it doesn't leave a port. I don't think the port's there.
I think it's about 1.2 stones wide. And we'll see whether that's tempting enough.
An offset in the wrong direction. John Gillespie making fun of Ian's comment about 1.2 stones.
If all I accomplish today is providing something for my friends to heckle, I will feel like I've done all right. I try. I try to do that every day.
All right, we have 3 rocks left to throw, unless Dutts can get their next 2 rocks to be in play. How many more family meetings? 3? Or 2? I guess because at least 2 more. Pretend none of those 4 corner guards are there.
If all they needed to do was take the end, find a way to get rid of the shot rock, but they've got to score at least 2. So they're in a spot.
Something even a hair less, maybe.
They talk for 4 minutes about where to put the broom, and halfway down the ice, he decides he needs a hair less. He's a far better curler than I am.
Even further.
I think you want to be sweeping to get
I
by
actually
that
I like this call coming down here by these reds. If you happen to clip one and go in, that could work. You come and hit it down, tap it out a bit, and then come and roll behind those 4 corner guards. Be quite protected.
Close. Last way. Line's great. Sweep all the way to her weight.
Oh, it's just. I think they were happy with that result. They seem to be. We have some fist bumps.
Well, for the first time this end, there's a red rock in the house.
Give me edge of the yellow, or just inside edge of the yellow. Less, like 2 inches less. Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're blocking the hole in the left. He's got a thick half of that red.
Oh yeah, that is so great.
You can make that the total board for me.
If we can barely tap that yellow guard over a little bit and spin off it, that's really good too.
You can try to shoot this court.
Yeah, it would block both shots and make them Play
A little less.
shot in the weeds.
Yeah. Pretty much same weight, right?
Just a hair more.
How many family meetings are you going to have?
John Gillespie now heckling the Dutt team. Family meeting remaining.
I'm glad he's found a new target.
Scott putting up another guard.
This may be a dumb question, but I wondered why they didn't come down and just take out the red one. Because then there would only be one red rock left.
Because the red is overlapping with the yellow. And if
Lose the yellow, so what?
You would lose the yellow. But then red would only have one rock left, and they couldn't score. Well, they could.
Right, so that's why I'm wondering why they didn't do that. Excuse us, can we ask a question?
Wow. So remember my conversation with you about a rock that was out in Neverland and you didn't think it would ever come into play? They're actually targeting that. They have a way off to the side guard, and they're looking to try to angle off of that into the yellow to knock the yellow out and score two. This is a far-fetched shot that I would be pretty impressed if they make it.
You know, we should record this for YouTube. If they make it, it'll be
It
a
will
highlight
be
for
recorded
years.
it is being recorded on YouTube.
Wait, what?
You can watch these afterwards.
We're online?
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Well, I don't know. Otherwise, you and I are talking to ourselves.
Well, we've done that before.
And potentially, since we are online, theoretically 31. And John's still going on about something, the 1.2 rocks and Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. I don't know. I think he spent too much time over greasy food this morning. It was very good. It was like a meat fest. Daniel trying to make a very, very, very crazy shot here, and maybe it'll work. Who knows? What? Oh! And he missed it by, well, as John said, that much. Very narrow margin to hit that and angle it over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've witnessed history here. For the first time in 6 cracked bells, the Dutt family is not going to be our champion. And that is quite a tectonic shift.
And we have a family hug by the Dunnams. Still some smiles by some of the Dutts.
Of course, it was an excellent, hard-fought game. Thank you all very much for joining us on YouTube. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you here at the club and online again next time. Thanks very much for watching.
And I might plug Team Nail Curling on Instagram next week, starting Thursday night through the weekend at UAT Nationals, and also Rock Creek Curling on YouTube. They only stream 2 sheets. So if you're interested in supporting the Philadelphia Juniors and Bucks Juniors, then you can tune in this week.
Good. And we'll all, of course, be following Team Dunnam as they head to men's nationals later on this season. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great day. We're going to close down the stream here and go watch some people get trophies. So
stay smiling.
Take care and good curling.